let's get into this here. This is from Sputnik, and it says, Israel believes it destroyed up to 50% of Syrian air defenses in strike. So this is covering the strike that happened a few days ago, where the drone flew over. They shot that down. They retaliated, and it's going to kind of recap all that information. But I've been seeing this repeatedly in the headlines and in the news, and they're continuing to say that Israel believes that it took out 50% of the Syrian air defenses. And that's a little bit of information that's new now. And that's significant because if they're thinking about completely taking out Assad and his palace, now that he's 50% weakened, if it's true, or if they believe it, that may be sign for them of time to go ahead and strike now, sooner. Especially with these other reports saying that that they're going to bring in more missiles, 500,000 missiles, and those are the statements they're putting out. Just before I read it to you, I found a few pictures, and these are the types of missiles that they flew over and took out. They flew over into Syria, and these are surface-to-air missiles. These missiles obviously are on the ground, and as a plane flies over, they're designed to, take out a plane that's coming over, or if, a missile's coming in, maybe even take out a missile. But they're surface-to-air missiles, and at the same time, they can use them to shoot over into Israel too. But this is what they're saying: they're air defenses, and they say they possibly have taken out 50% of these. So I'll read the article and talk about it a little bit more. Tel Aviv Sputnik: the Israeli military believes that it had managed to destroy up to half of the Syrian air defense forces during Saturday's airstrike, an army source told Sputnik. According to our preliminary, I emphasize preliminary estimates, about 50% of the Syrian air defense forces were destroyed. We will once again verify these estimates, the source said. On February 10, the Israeli army said its helicopter intercepted what it called an Iranian drone launched from Syria, and that the Israeli Air Force, IAF, struck Iranian targets in Syria. So the drone flew over, they took it down, and they retaliated. The Israeli moves prompted a response fire from the Syrian air defense systems. So the Syrians try to shoot down the jets coming in. The Syrian air defenses have managed to strike several aircraft and triggered air raid sirens, and an Israeli F-16 jet crashed in northern Israel, with its two pilots managing to eject of the plane. So, and they got one. They got one of the Israeli planes. If this is news to you, it's an update. In the second wave of the attack, they launched to hit additional Iranian targets in Syria. The Israeli Air Forces struck 12 targets. So after that, they hit one of our planes. We're going to go hit many targets, and they said 12 altogether, including Syrian air defense batteries and Iranian military. So they're saying Iranian military facilities. So they're saying these missiles is what they took out, along with factories and bases. The Israeli authorities said that Syria and Iran were playing with fire, adding that Tel Aviv was not interested in escalation of tensions. Here's a picture of the downed Israeli aircraft that they took down. They said the chief of staff of Israeli Air Force, Tomer Bar, has said that Israeli's operation was the biggest confrontation with the Syrian air defense forces since 1982 Lebanon war. Amid the spike in tensions, the Russian Foreign Ministry has called on the international community to respect Syria's territorial integrity and sovereignty, urging both Israel and Syria to exercise restraint and avoid aggravation of the situation. Israel and Syria have a long history of conflicts over the disputed Golan Heights. The countries that have never signed a peace treaty have repeatedly exchanged fire with the latest incident occurring in January. At the time, the Damascus forces prevented 3 Israeli missile attacks. The Syrian authorities accused Israel of cooperating with terrorist groups, meaning Lebanon and Syria are all cooperating with Hezbollah and Iran, and they are. Adding, Tel Aviv posed a threat to global security and peace on par with Daesh and Jabhat al-Nusra, which is Hezbollah, Lebanon, terrorists. So that's a bit of recap over the things that have been happening. But the big news there is that they believe they took out 50% of the air defenses in Syria, and if that's the case, like I said, and they're moving in 500,000 missiles, Iran's constantly giving them more missiles, and they believe they've got them at a point where they're 50% weakened. Now might be the time to go ahead and take them out the rest of the way. It's a potential thing to contemplate in the scenario that's going on. I'll show you on the map here. Syria's here, and they've been flying over in the Golan Heights area here. This is Israel, Lebanon, and Iran set up Hezbollah missiles and factories in Lebanon and in Syria. The drone came from almost the middle of Syria, out here near Palmyra, way out there, and they flew over and took that out. And that's where the drone came from. But most of the time, a lot of these places that they strike are near Damascus, which it makes you think about Bible prophecy. It makes you think about Isaiah. Isaiah 17 says, "The burden of Damascus, behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. The cities of Aor are forsaken, they shall be for flocks, which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith the Lord." So not only is Damascus going to be taken out and be a ruinous heap, but they're going to lose all control over Syria. Once Damascus is taken out, Assad's going to fall. Right now, all this red is Assad on this side. That's Iraq there, and they're in charge. They've had conflicts for several years now, and they've managed to beat back these rebels in the green and push back ISIS. But they've brought in Iran and set up more factories, and it's caused them a lot more tension with Israel. And now they're getting bombarded by Israel pretty regularly, it seems like to me. So Israel could be the one that flies over and takes out the palace and takes out Assad. Netanyahu's threatened to do that if they don't move these missiles back and get out of range. Assad said he's not going to do that. In fact, he said he's going to bring in more and threaten them more. He said he's going to attack Israel in the next war. So it could very well be that Israel strikes Damascus and fulfills God's prophecy there. America's constantly accused Assad of chemical weapons. They're constantly accusing him of chemical weapons against his own people and against the rebels, and they're considering it a war crime, and going to the UN and arguing with Russia. In this picture, Iran, this is the representative for Iran, representative for Russia, and this is Assad. It's pretty wild to watch. That's I believe Iran is the four-headed leopard in Daniel's and dreams, Daniel's beast. Russia is the bear, and that's in Daniel's dreams and Daniel's prophecies the God gave him. And they're all in Syria. There's Damascus, Israel. I find that wow, personally. All these Bible prophecies coming together. But so it's a little bit of recap, a little bit of recovering some information I've done in my past videos. thought it was significant to bring it back up again. Just mainly the point that they're continuing to report that they possibly have taken out 50% of his air defenses. You know, they've popped one here and there. This time they did 12 strikes. With his defenses possibly low, could it be the time now, soon, while they're low and weak, to go over and take out Assad's palace and finish him off? That would probably grow into a larger conflict. They're not just going to do that and it be said and done. It's just going to cause more trouble with Russia, more trouble with Iran. It'll grow into a larger conflict, probably a full-out war. But like I said, I think it's pretty significant that they've possibly taken out 50% of the air defenses. That in itself is just startling. Whether it's true or not, even the report said it's a preliminary guesstimate there. But like I said, you know, does this mean that they'll possibly attack them soon? It's something to watch for and keep on your mind if you're following this prophecy. Interesting stuff's going on. Interesting times. I hope this sparks your interest and you continue to watch not only Isaiah 17 and Syria and Damascus, but all of God's prophecies that are potentially unfolding. I just wanted to encourage you and show you that these are signs that Jesus is coming soon. So remain faithful, work out your own salvation, and be blessed. God bless you in Jesus' holy name. Amen.